Good afternoon, Facebook. This is Stephen, and to the left of me is Angelika, and this is Ask Angelika. I'll get it in a second. Ask Angelika, episode 24.
24, yeah.
So, now, can you tell us a little bit about today's topic?
Yes. Today actually is the official start to autumn. And I had written a blog post about autumn on Monday with songs and whatever else. But I came across a website which I only briefly mentioned in the blog post. I haven't done anything else because it's got a wealth of stuff in there. It's really aimed at German children. And possibly teachers as well, teachers of children who want to do things about autumn. So there are some craft activities, there's some poems, some stories, some really easy things like an A to Z of autumn type words, which I almost chosen as today's topic. But then I thought, well, the last time when we did Ask Angelika and we spoke about board games, we did words and very short phrases. And I thought, no, we need something a bit more challenging. I should rephrase that. You need something more challenging.
I need something more challenging.
Yes. So instead of having an autumn A to Z, I found one page on this site which talks about autumn and explains a bit about autumn. And there's some lovely sentences and words in there. And I thought they'd be just right for you.
I accept the challenge.
Okay.
So the website is Medienwerkstatt, and the link, I'm just going to paste the link in, and the link will go through to Facebook so that you can have a look there after the show. Obviously, if you're watching now, stay where you are.
Yeah, I'll put that on YouTube as well later on. That link takes you to the autumn pages. I mean, the whole thing has got, the whole site has got loads of information, probably a lot of it useful for people working with children as well. So well worth having a look around, but not now, as you said.
No, well, certainly not me. I'm going to try and pronounce these words. Right. So phrase number one is Herbsttag und Nacht gleicher.
Almost.
Herbsttag und Nacht gleicher.
Herbsttag und Nachtgleiche.
Herbsttag und Nachtgleiche.
That's a brilliant compound noun consisting out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words.
Okay, so breaking it down into the words, Herbst is autumn.
Yep.
Tag is day. Und is and. Yep. Nacht is night. And Gleiche. Now that's where it's lost me. I've got 4 out of the 5 words. But what's the 5th word? Gleiche.
Gleiche. Now today is the official start of autumn. And that means that the day and the night are the same or the same length.
Ah, okay.
So this is the autumn day and night the same. We have a shorter word for that, don't we?
Oh, yes, we do. And I would never get this in 1,000 years, but we're going to go with literal translation. The actual translation is autumn equinox.
It is. So although the English one is a lot shorter, yeah, autumn obviously for Herbst and equinox, but if I just came across, as a foreigner, if I came across the word equinox, I may not be able to work out what that means. Whereas Tag und Nacht gleiche, yeah, day and night the same, I would be able to work out that's the equinox. So Herbsttag und Nacht gleiche is today. And then, of course, we have the Frühlingstag, Nacht und gleiche, the spring equinox as well.
Aha. And Sommertag und Nacht gleiche.
So it's lovely how it just puts all those words together and tells you exactly what it means.
It's painting a picture.
It is, yes.
Phrase number 2 is slightly longer than the first one, and in fact it's so long that it won't all fit on the screen. So I'm going to mangle the words as I say, astronomisch gesehen beginnt der Herbst auf der Nordhalbkugel am Tag der Herbsttag Nacht und Nachtgleicher.
Yes, that's the first part of the sentence. Astronomisch gesehen beginnt der Herbst auf der Nordhalbkugel am Tag der Herbsttag und Nachtgleiche. Even I'm struggling with that now. Der Herbsttag und Nachtgleiche.
Well, the Herbsttag, I've never forget that now because we've broken it down. It's actually 5 words. So, right, okay, let's start translating this. Astronomisch, something to do with astronomy? Mm-hmm. Okay, so astronomy sees the beginning of spring. No, I'm getting it totally wrong here.
Not spring anyway, autumn.
Autumn, yeah, sorry. So
you're not far off there. So astronomically, gesehen is more like seen, but we would use speaking. So astronomically speaking, autumn
in the northern half of the globe.
Yeah, exactly.
Nordhalbkugel. And a comment from Stephen. Hello, Stephen. And Stephen said, if you're struggling, we've no chance. So, right, okay, welcome to you. Right.
So yes, the northern hemisphere, again, if you think of the globe, it's the northern half of the globe.
Yeah, and it's
Australia, it isn't.
Yeah, am Tag der Herbsttag und Nachtgleicher. The Nachtgleicher wouldn't fit on the screen. So it's on the first day of autumn, on the equinox. Right, okay, so that was a tongue twister, and that got us both going. Thanks, Stephen. Yes, we're both good, thank you, and we hope you are too. And we're going to carry on. We've got 10 phrases to go. Well, 10 phrases in total. So it's on to phrase number 3.
Which is the second half of the first sentence.
Oh, right, okay. Und endet mit der Wintersonnenwende. Oh,
yeah. So right. This is the second part. So astronomically speaking, autumn in the northern hemisphere begins on the day of the autumn equinox, and
it finishes with the winter sun. Right. Okay. End? No.
No, winter it's not end. Wende.
Wintersonnenwende. Yeah. So Wende is the one I'm struggling with.
Well, it's the winter solstice.
Ah. And it ends with the winter solstice. So.
Because that's the beginning of winter then.
Okay. So Wintersonnenwende is the winter solstice.
Yeah. So what's the summer solstice?
Are we still live?
Yeah, you were frozen for a second, I think.
All right, okay. And now we're back. This is live video. Okay, so we know when it starts and finishes. So now we're going to go, oh, yes. Okay, this one's a challenge, Stephen. Einige Obsorten sind im Herbst reif und können geerntet werden.
That's it, yeah. Einige Obstsorten sind im Herbst reif und können geerntet werden.
Okay, now let's break that down. Herbst is autumn.
Yep.
Einige is some. Obstorten. No.
Not Obstorten. Obstorten. Obstorten actually sounds very nice as well. I'll tell you in a minute what they are. But we're looking at Obstsorten.
Right, okay, I'm going to have to go. I mean, I've got the translation here, as Stephen knows, so I'm going to bring the translation up. So some types of fruit ripen in autumn and can be harvested.
Yeah, so Obst is fruit, and to go back to your misspelled word or missaid word, Obsttorten would be fruit gatos. Which, of course, sounds very nice, but you could make them with some of the fruit that are ripe in the autumn, which comes up in the next phrase. Just some examples.
Right. Let's move on then. Phrase 5. Oh, I can do this one. Phrase 5 is Apfel, Birnen, Pflaumen und Weintrauben.
Yeah, that's some of those fruit that they mentioned. Äpfel, Birnen, Pflaumen und Weintrauben.
Well, Apfel is apples, that I do know. Pflaumen, no, Birnen and Pflaumen, I'm flummoxed. So, and Weintrauben must be grapes. So, yeah. Birnen and Pflaumen are the ones I'm struggling with.
Birnen are pears. And Pflaumen, also start with a P, is plums.
So, Apfel, Birnen, Pflaumen und Weintrauben is apples, pears, plums and grapes, all of which ripen in the autumn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you have chickens who eat them like they do with our pears, and we never get to see them.
This is true. This is true. They don't like the apples, though. They leave the apples alone, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Right. Phrase 6, Zugvögel.
Not a phrase, just a word. Zugvögel.
This word. Right. Let's go with this. Vögel are birds. Zug is away. So it's birds that go away. So it's migratory birds. How's that?
Well done.
Right. You can't tell I've got the answers, can you? But I mean, I actually did break it down and agree. I agree.
Well, I'm impressed that you didn't say that Zug is a train. Because I half expected you to say train birds. What are they? But no, well done. So they're migratory birds, which of course we see a lot in the autumn as well.
Right. Okay. And staying on the theme of birds, phrase 7. Viele Vogelarten verlassen mit Beginn des Herbstes ihre Brutgebiete.
Gebiete.
Okay. Can you say it properly?
Viele Vogelarten verlassen mit Beginn des Herbstes ihre Brutgebiete. And this is also, again, half a sentence. It carries on afterwards.
Right, okay. So, viele is many. Vögel is bird. Vogelarten. Arten. Nope.
Types.
Okay, types.
Or species. Vogelart is a bird species.
All right, many bird species. Verlassen is leave.
Yeah.
Mit begin in the beginning.
Yeah.
Of autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
That's the short version. Many birds leave in autumn. That's the short version. Yes. That would be the translation.
Right. Okay.
So it's at the beginning of autumn, they leave their breeding grounds. There we are. Many bird species leave their breeding grounds at the beginning of autumn.
Right. Now, I want to take a point on that sentence order. Because we translated mit-beginn as the beginning, mit-beginn des Herbstes as the beginning of autumn. And we're agreeing to that, but we've actually had to move it to the end of the sentence to make sense of it. Is that?
Yeah, many bird species. We wouldn't say many bird species leave at the beginning of autumn their breeding space. But of course, in German, we have the word order with the famous TMP, time, manner, place.
Right.
And the beginning of autumn is the time, and their breeding grounds is the place.
Okay, so time, manner, place.
Yeah, in English, we don't care.
We don't. I mean, we've taken a grammatically correct sentence in German and we've made it our own.
But that's the beauty of language anyway, because this is the one thing that a lot of people do struggle with. They see an English sentence or a German sentence or any language sentence, and they think they need to translate them literally. And often it works, but just as often it doesn't. So if you do translate a sentence literally, and then you look at it in English, then you think, well, actually, that German sentence doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You then need to turn it into something decent into English. That's a bit easier from the foreign language into your own language, because you can literally translate a German sentence and you look at it and you think, huh, what's that? Right. And turn it into some decent English, whereas the other way around, that's a little bit more difficult.
Yes, yeah, and that's Stephen's agreeing with you there, because he's saying his syntax is where he struggles, and I do as well. So we're together in that. Right, and phrase number 8, and again I'm going to mangle it. And suchen ihre Überwinterungsgebiete in warmeren Ländern auf. How's the pronunciation, first of all? Almost, go on then.
Pretty good. Und suchen ihre Überwinterungsgebiete. Remember, IE is the E sound. Gebiete in wärmeren Ländern auf. So that's the second part of the other sentence.
Yep. So part, of the previous phrase. So they look for their overwinter Gebiete. Place? Gebiete.
Yeah,
places.
Areas. Gebiet is an area, so it would be areas, yeah.
And they look for winter areas in warmer lands. Auf.
Well,
so
let's
yep.
Go on. What happens? What is the auf part of?
It's aufsuchen.
Yeah.
Okay, because it goes with the verb.
Exactly.
Which is search, visit rather. So
in this case, yeah.
There's the German, and okay, and that's right. Okay, let's get straight to order. That's Stephen's translation, which is, I think that's good. What do you think?
Yeah, it actually shows quite nicely, and coming back to what you said earlier on as well, that if you were to give a text to several people to translate, you probably get several different translations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes if you see a book translated by different people, you end up with different text, and what you need to see, then you need to find the one that's it's got to be as close as possible to the original text, but it still has to be readable in the other language as well.
Right.
So
we've got,
it's quite tricky, because yes, visit is besuchen, but we haven't got besuchen in that text. But visit in English in this case makes a lot more sense.
Right. Okay. So yes. Yeah. So both translations, Stephen, we're going to take as being correct.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Right. Phrase number 9 then. Neben den sonnigen Tagen im Erst.
Yeah, again, that's half a sentence, so there is a bit more coming in a minute. Actually, looking at the space now, we probably could have put it all on there.
I'm not sure.
But it's all right, it still works out. So, neben den sonnigen Tagen im Herbst.
Remember, in England, neben den sonnigen Tagen im Herbst, the sunny days in autumn, which we're looking forward to, and neben is besides.
Yeah.
So besides the sunny days in autumn.
Yeah.
Which we're hoping for.
So what else happens? That's the second part.
Right. Okay. And Stephen's saying he's noticed that the variation with film subtitles as well. It's a very good point. So he's taking on board what you just said. So we come to our final phrase for today, which is the second half of the previous phrase, and is as oft auch schön recht kalt, nebelig oder stürmisch. Stürmisch.
Yeah. Stürmisch.
It's often.
There, it's not schön. It's schon.
Schon.
Es ist oft auch schon recht kalt, neblig oder stürmisch. So besides the sunny days in autumn,
it is often rather cold. Stürmisch is stormy.
yeah.
Nebel is a cloud, so cloudy. Foggy?
Well, foggy. Nebel is fog. Cloud is Wolke.
Okay, thank you for that correction. So it says, ist oft so schön, schon recht kalt, nebelig oder stürmisch. And translation is, it's quite often quite cold, foggy, or stormy.
Yeah. Now, if you said schön recht kalt, then you're actually looking forward to the cold days. And you can't wait for it to be cold, which I somehow don't think you want to say.
No, I don't. Definitely not. Definitely not. Well, that's our 10th phrase of the day, and this has been
enough, isn't it?
Ask Angelika, episode 24. Would you like to do a close of today's show?
Yes. Oh, I don't know. I hope you enjoyed those sentences. If you do find them far too advanced because you are still a beginner in German, like I said in the beginning of the show, do have a look on that site. They do have a lot of easier things as well. And if you like singing, my blog post that actually covers autumn as well has got quite a few children's songs about autumn that you can have a read, a listen, a sing if you wanted to. What was that? What did I just read there?
Oh, yeah. And Stephen's saying, I think I'll just find a German girlfriend. It will be much easier.
She probably speaks English anyway, then.
That's very true. With their
but at least
accent,
you can do the typical English thing and talk about the weather.
We can.
And on that note, I think today then.
From Angelika and I, Ask Angelika, episode 24. Thank you for watching today. Hope you enjoyed the replay, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. And thanks from Stephen. Thank you so much. Highly informative. Have a good day. You too, sir.
Thank
and
you
we'll
for
see
watching.
you later.
And it's just for me.
Und tschüss von mir. Bis später. I was going to say have a good weekend, but I didn't translate it quick enough. So see you all in 2 weeks' time.
Schönes Wochenende.
Schönes Wochenende. And I'm ending the broadcast
on Monday with songs and whatever else. But I came across a website which I only briefly mentioned in the blog post. I haven't done anything else because it's got a wealth of stuff in there. It's really aimed at German children. And possibly teachers as well, teachers of children who want to do things about autumn. So there are some craft activities, there's some poems, some stories, some really easy things like an A to Z of autumn type words, which says and words in there. And I thought they'd be just right for you.
I accept the challenge. Okay. So the website is Medienwerkstatt. And the link, I'm just going to paste the link in. And the link will go through to Facebook so that you can have a look there after the show. Obviously, if you're watching now, stay where you are.
Yeah, and I'll put that on YouTube as well later on. That link takes you to the autumn pages. I mean, the whole thing has got, the whole site has got loads of information. Probably a lot of it useful for people working with children as well. So well worth having a look around, but not now, as you said.
No, well, certainly not me. I'm going to try and pronounce these words. Right. So phrase number 1 is Herbststadt Tag und Nacht gleicher. Herbststadt Tag und Nacht gleicher.
Herbsttag und Nachtgleiche.
Herbsttag und Nachtgleiche.
As a brilliant compound noun consisting out of 1, 2, 3. I almost chosen as today's topic. But then I thought, well, the last time when we did Ask Angelika and we spoke about board games, we did words and very short phrases. And I thought, no, we need something a bit more challenging. I should rephrase that. You need something more challenging.
I need something more challenging.
Yes. So instead of having an autumn A to Z, I found one page on this site which talks about autumn and explains a bit about autumn. And there's some lovely sentences.
Good afternoon, Facebook. This is Stephen, and to the left of me is Angelika, and this is Ask Angelika. I'll get it in a second. Ask Angelika, episode 24. Yeah. So, now, can you tell us a little bit about today's topic?
Yes. Today actually is the official start to autumn. And I had written a blog post about autumn